So, Ryan, hot take here, but did you know there's more to Epcot than just drinking around the world?
No, there's not.
Yes, there is, and we're going to
Of
get
course.
into it on this episode of One Slice at a Time. Welcome back to One Slice at a Time. I'm Stephanie Picosta, a travel advisor that specializes in multi-generational group travel, and like Ryan, a PhD in Disneyology.
And my name's Ryan Joy. I'm also a travel advisor and I specialize in large group trips. But as Stephanie has indicated, yes, I have my PhD in Disneyology. And I do know that there's more to do in Epcot than just drink. Of course, you can also snack.
But guys, even people with families, there is a lot to do in Epcot. So today, Ryan and I are continuing our four-part series about Disney World parks with the biggest park, well, that you can walk.
Animal Kingdom's a lot bigger, but
Right,
Epcot
yeah.
certainly will give you your steps. If you didn't
Oh, for
catch
sure.
last week, we talked about Magic Kingdom. So this week we're going to switch things up and go over to Epcot, park number 2 in the Disney World historical context.
So guys, Epcot, is it really two parks in one? Ryan, I mean, there's two completely different feels to this park.
Yeah, there's the whole front part, and then there's the, I don't know, World Showcase, like the
Yes.
countries. So,
Yes.
um, I think that's why Stephanie's giving me a hard time about drinking around the world. I don't even do, I think I've done it once. You've probably done it more times than me. That's
No, probably just once.
all it takes.
Yeah.
So most of the rides are in the front of the park. Most of the like eating, drinking, shopping is in
Yes.
the back of the parks. But two or three of the actually two of the key rides in the whole park are in the back in the
Ryan's
countries.
wrong. Ryan's wrong about there only being two
No.
rides back there. So we'll
Well,
get into
there's more
that in a
than two.
minute.
Yeah.
So, Ryan, just like last time, one of our first things we do, let's walk through our typical day in Epcot. So, why don't you get started and tell us what this day looks like for mostly adults traveling sans children?
Okay. In that situation, we've had a nice leisurely morning at the resort. We're walking
Yay.
in sometime like maybe we've got time for one thing before our lunch reservation at Epcot because
Mhm.
Epcot is full of restaurants. There are
Yeah.
so many good ones. So, of course, if I had my way, my lunch reservation is at Via Napoli.
Save that for the
And
Crusty
so
review.
we will, of course. But so I might try to hit Soarin as I walk through the park. I love Soarin. I up until a couple of years ago it was my favorite ride in this park. So even without a lightning lane, if you're there early enough, usually you can get Soarin before the line built, and then living with the
Mhm.
land, and then all the things. So that's kind of how I start.
Okay, so we got to lunch.
Yeah, and hopefully I have a Via Napoli reservation. But
Right.
if not, then I might do, I think we want to do quick service for lunch, right? So
Sure.
um, I really like Connections Cafe. I think they have
Okay.
a really good fried chicken sandwich over there
Sure.
for a quick service. I'll be
Hmm.
honest, you don't even have to get that formal at Epcot, though. There are so many
Right.
little stations with small bites that you can just
Yes.
really snack there to your heart's content.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So, are we staying around in the afternoon? What are you doing in the afternoon in this park?
Well, a lot of it depends on if I've booked lightning lanes and things like
Hmm.
that. One of the things I love to do during festivals is I
Yes.
go at the as I walk into the park
Hmm.
on either side, whether you walk in the back of the park or in the front of the park, there's a shop right there, and you can get the little scavenger hunt thing.
Yes.
And it's totally seasonal. It changes up. Like one
Hmm.
festival, it's Remy, and he's got like little ingredients,
Yeah.
and he's hidden in all of the countries. And you go get a
Yep.
sticker, you see what he's got, you put it on the map. In the
Hmm.
in the Christmas time, it's Olaf, and he has a Christmas tradition
Right.
that he's playing with throughout
Right.
the countries. So I really like to do that, and it's a really good afternoon thing to walk through. And it's nice because
Sure.
you actually visit each of the countries.
Yes. Correct.
Yeah.
We've had a little afternoon stroll through the World Showcase. Now, nighttime entertainment. Are we sticking around for the fireworks and show here, or do you go?
We don't stay very much for the show unless we
Yeah,
have a dining reservation. And
sure.
actually, that's really nice. If you can get a dining reservation with a firework view, that is a cool thing to do. There's a few
Hmm.
different spots along
Yep.
the water that you can do it.
If you don't have a dining reservation and
Mhm.
you want to watch the fireworks, where is your favorite spot to see these fireworks? Right.
I'm typically over in either the Canada area or
Mhm.
between China and Norway. Yeah, I think that their crowds are a little thinner sometimes in those
In those
spots.
areas.
And often, you know, with Canada specifically, I'm like, I can make a beeline out of the park after that.
Absolutely. Yep. That's a good strategy.
Yep. Go ahead.
For me, a day in this park definitely looks a little bit different because there is no relaxing at the hotel.
Yeah.
We are going to try to get on Guardians just as many times as we can try to get on Guardians.
Oh,
So
man.
that is usually our very first stop of the day. I will say that if that is not going to be the first stop. We're going to rope drop Remy's and
Yep.
get breakfast back by Remy's Ratatouille Adventure. I will say that Remy's is not even something that I have to do every single time. It is not my favorite ride, but if it's something that we want to do on that trip and the line's obviously going to build throughout the day, we will definitely head over to Remy's and rope drop. Pro tip here, if we are staying somewhere that is on the Skyliner or we're right there at the Yachted Beach Club, we're usually going to Remy's. If we are coming in on the monorail or a bus, we're going to rope drop Guardians. So,
That's it. That is interesting because the logic that I normally use is
mhm.
pick your favorite between Remy and Frozen. One of them
True.
you're going to get a lightning lane for, and the other one
Yes,
you're going to rope drop because it's not
that's
going to be
right.
available for you're not going to be able to get lightning lane on both.
Hmm.
So it is kind of nice. Another thing you could do is if you wanted to have a slower morning, you can't really
Hmm.
be slow, but I guess if you wanted to have an early start, you could get a breakfast reservation at Trattoria El Forno or something like that
Right.
at the boardwalk, and then you could just
And
walk
then,
in the back and hit Remy.
yes,
You know,
or Frozen. Either way, they're kind
yeah,
of like, just a couple of countries away from each other.
yeah.
I am blessed that I do not have to stand in the line for Frozen or waste a lightning lane on it because my child hates it. So
Okay. So that's off the books for
that's
you.
off the list. I don't have to worry
Yeah,
about that at all. But Ryan's definitely right. Whichever one's more important to your family, that's the one you choose the lightning lane for. And then
yeah.
rope drop the other one.
What are you doing once it gets towards lunchtime?
You know where we're all going for lunch, and I know we use quick service in Magic Kingdom, but everybody should be going to Via Napoli,
Yeah.
especially for lunch, because the lunch reservations are kind of a little easier to get, I feel like, than the dinner reservations. Or if you eat at an off time, that's a good time to go to Via Napoli. Sometimes during the busy season, they have a little pizza window open, so you could count it as a quick service meal.
Yeah.
But yeah, Via Napoli for lunch, that's where we're going for sure. After
Okay.
that, it depends on your day. Most people spend the morning in it's like World
First,
Celebration
yeah.
or something like that. There's different lands up there. Most people are going to spend the morning there because the countries and stuff in the back of the park, they open later typically.
Right.
So that's usually how we kind of flip flop. We'll do a ride, we'll do an attraction, we'll get some food or whatever. We spend the morning in the back of the park or late morning in the back of the park. And then as the crowds are starting to come into the back of the park, we'll go out front and ride some rides in the front of the park. Journey to Imagination is always a must do for us. And the Ride with the Three Caballeros, the Grand Fiesta Tour
Yes.
in
Yep.
Mexico, is always a must do for us. And neither one of those we use lightning lanes for. We just go do them. In fact, this is one of those places where I tell people maybe get away with single pass, especially if Frozen and Remy are not both very important to you. Just get a single pass maybe for Guardians is sometimes what we do. And we don't do the multi-pass lightning lane in this park because there's just not a whole lot to use it on.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm not a huge test track fan. So
Right.
it's like some people have different things that they exclude from their
Yes.
list of things. And,
Hmm.
that helps make the decision on
And
your lightning lane
no one
purchase.
rides Mission Space. You can just take that and take that away, like take that out. Like no one's riding that.
Right.
Not and spending the rest of the day in the park. You're going home after that ride.
All right. So, you've had your afternoon or whatever. Do you stay for
Hmm.
fireworks at this park?
We usually do. I say we're about 50-50. Just like Ryan, I kind of like to be back there by the China Pavilion or maybe up by Canada. And that is where we're going to watch the fireworks from. We are not huge lovers of the restaurants that are there. And we're usually so full from walking around and trying things because there's like 95% of the time some festival going on at Epcot that has all the special food and drinks and everything. So we are not making dinner reservations to watch the fireworks there. We do like the fireworks, but guys, this isn't Magic Kingdom fireworks. It's a nice show, but if don't feel like you miss the highlight of your vacation if you don't see it. So,
I do love, another option is if you want to have dinner, but you want to escape the park, you
mhm,
can go out the back and you can get dinner at the yacht club, the beach club,
right.
boardwalk,
Hmm.
Swan and
The
Dolphin even.
Yachtsman's.
You can
Yep.
go over there. You could take the Skyliner over to Riviera for Topolino's
Right.
Terrace. There's a lot of options that you have
Sure.
to you when you're at Epcot.
So we talked about our normal kind of flow throughout the day. Ryan, tell me what is some hidden gems, some top tips, some favorite things that you like to do at Epcot.
In the France Pavilion, there is a theater. And I think a lot of people
Mhm.
walk right by this theater. And it's pretty cool because they have Impressions of France, which is not the show you want to see. And then they also have the Beauty and the Beast sing along. And it gives you like sort
Mhm.
of the behind the scenes of what was happening during the entire Beauty and the Beast saga. And there's a hidden hero at play.
Mhm.
And so it's a lot of fun to do that. And I think, like I said, most people are so focused on doing Guardians and Frozen and
Mhm.
Remy that they miss these little things like this. And
Right.
there's a lot of these type of things throughout the park.
Sure. So tell me what is the favorite thing to snack on? Like what are you doing? You're bringing your popcorn bucket, guys. We know that. Bring your popcorn bucket everywhere you go. But what?
Listen, I know you're like leading me to it, right? So, it's not for me, but Maggie, my wife, has to have that maple popcorn from Canada like
Every
every time.
time.
Every time.
It smells so
Yes.
good.
It does smell good. I am not, I'm probably gonna get the maple syrup people mad at me, but I
Yeah, but
don't care for maple flavored stuff that much.
right.
So I can skip that. But I know I'm in the minority. So
And see, for us, we're going to caramel coochie. I hope that's how you
yeah,
say it.
that's delicious. Yeah. Caramel
And it's like
couche.
a Werther's caramel couche,
I don't know
but
what it's
there's a
called.
Werther's stand where they make all this stuff out of caramel. The popcorn there is to die for.
Delish.
Their caramel popcorn. Yeah, for
Yeah.
sure. And
Any
I
little
would say
hidden gem in the attraction space?
we love Figment. A lot of people hate Figment, so that's something we have to do every single time. I think my hidden attraction, though, we like doing the American Pavilion, and they have live performances before the main show, and they're dressed in period costumes, and they come out and they sing in the rotunda. And it is absolutely breathtaking, guys. Do not miss. I think it's this Voices of Liberty is the name
Yeah,
of the
that's what it's
group. And
called.
just check that. It's a great afternoon break. They sing right before the main show when you go into the theater and watch the American Adventure show. So I think that is my favorite little hidden gem in Epcot.
Okay.
Besides that, maybe the mariachi band, but it's outside. So at least the Voices of
Yeah.
Liberty.
The last time we talked about PhilharMagic, and it was like how it was a great spot to avoid the
Yeah.
heat and the rain and stuff like that. So here, Three Caballeros, the Pixar
Yes.
shorts, Figment, the Reflections of China,
Mhm.
Canada Far and Wide. These are all
Right.
things that you can do to get out of the heat of the day
Yep.
and also away
And
from the rain.
not really a hidden gem, but I will say that Cava de Tequila in the Mexico Pavilion is a must do every time we're there. Avocado, margaritas. I know it sounds gross, but you cannot knock it until you try it. I love the
I
avocado margs at La Cava.
have it.
So don't miss that.
So is Mexico the first stop on your drink around the world, or is Canada?
Absolutely. Every
Yeah.
time I'm going to be so basic and go to Mexico, I probably am doing it different than everyone else because I'm going to Mexico, double fisting avocado margs, then I'll walk to Canada. Like I I could go there every day and get one. They're so good.
Yeah, what happened, what, if I'm going to drink around the world, I get all the way to the UK and then I get stuck on
Mhm.
Guinness. and I can't get
Done.
past it. So so I got to make that the end. So that
Right.
all right, Stephanie,
Ugh.
what's the most overrated thing at Epcot?
Well, if you're talking to my daughter, it has to be Frozen Ever After. People are going to come for me for this, but she absolutely despises it. Maybe she'll like it better later on down the road, but right now she's just like, no, thank you very much. So I think that is really why are we standing in line for sometimes 2 hours for this ride? Honestly, it's not very long. It was better when it was Maelstrom, period. It told more of the
Oh
story
boy.
of Norway.
There are plenty of people that agree with you on that point. For me, the most overrated thing is Test Track, and it's not close.
Yeah.
It is not
You've
close. I
been
don't
on
like.
you've been on the new test track and you still don't like
Yes.
it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah. It's
it's
still
not
still
it
just
is what it
yeah.
is, right?
Yeah. Yep.
I would also just want to say that if you're a family with kids and you think you're doing a half day at Epcot, you do not realize how much walking there is. And
Yeah.
yes, this park is not ride heavy. It really isn't. Up front, you have Soarin', Living with the Land. Living with the Land would probably be my second like hidden gem. Man, I love that ride. And you know, you've got Guardians of the Galaxy, mission space that no one cares about, test track. But if
Nemo.
you have Nemo, you have little kids, this is not your Magic Kingdom day where it's ride, attraction. This is more walking and enjoying the spaces. So my big tip here is families with little kids, stop in each country, do some shopping. Each one has a kid cot station where they teach your kids a little bit about the country you're visiting. And that is a good way to spend the whole day in the park with your little ones. And just the sheer amount of walking, you don't realize how much time it takes to just walk around this park.
Not only that, it's a thing where you can end up spending a lot of time in places that you didn't think you would. For instance, the Nemo ride is not that long, but it comes out into a massive aquarium. It's like one of the
Right.
biggest aquariums in the world. You can
Yes.
burn, and I say I don't mean burn in a bad way, but like you can
But you
spend
could
an
spend.
hour, or
Hmm.
2 hours even in the aquarium section alone.
Right.
So that's where this park goes from being like this short experience to um, full on day for sure.
Yeah. Like as a travel advisor, I'm just telling you guys, there is so much to do in Epcot that you are missing if you're making this your half day park.
Yep. Yep. Absolutely.
And that's where our services come in. Ryan and I can help you prioritize what you should be doing in each one of these parks and help you build a plan that works for your family, not the family down the street, not what somebody said that hasn't been there in 5 years, not some blog on Facebook that just prattles stuff off and have no idea what they're talking about, or it's not things that are important to what your kids want to do.
Right. We're here to make your trip as exceptional as we can for you by talking you through the
That's
things
right.
that we can tell from our conversations are important to you and your family, or things that are not. And if you need to make decisions and priorities, we have all the knowledge to be like, you have the most obscure question, and we can be like, yeah, it's not for you, or
Right.
it is for you,
Exactly.
or don't miss this,
Exactly.
or while you're there, do this other thing.
Right. And here's
Yeah.
another, I'm just going to give out this pro tip for free right here. Epcot is absolutely the best place to see the princesses. If princesses is on your list for your little girls and boys, you want to see princesses, Epcot is the park that you need to spend some time in.
Let's talk about pizza now.
Absolutely. Pizza.
It's time for my Crusty review.
Yes, it is.
We've talked
No
about Via
surprise
Napoli
here.
before. We've talked about Via Napoli before. Everybody knows it's the best
Right.
pizza in Florida, period, hands down.
Period.
So it's an easy 8 out of 8 on the pizza scale. Delicious pizza. I don't know. What else is there to say about it? I get the biggest one you can get,
Up
and
and
it's like
char
a yard of
pepperonis.
pizza. Yeah,
It is.
delish.
Yeah. It's just
Delish.
a great little place to sit down. They have other things. We've tried other things. Everything is pretty much so great, but the
Yeah,
pizza, top notch, 8 out of 8
yeah. Every time. It's thin.
every single time.
It does, there's some people that might, if you're one of these people that is like, oh, well, the undercarriage is only blah, 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 blah. Like, yeah,
Hmm.
it is a little bit of a flop situation, but it's delicious. So it's that style that's done intentionally. So
Yes,
it's great.
exactly.
All right, Stephanie, any stories you need to tell from Epcot?
When I think of Epcot, and every time we're planning a trip that we're going to Epcot, it calls me back to the very first Disney trip I ever took. at 14 years old. I was 14 before I got to go to Disney, guys. They should have charged my parents with child abuse. So
Okay.
we go, I'm 14, and my little brother is getting ready to go to first grade.
Okay.
And again, I said, do not forget this is going to be so much walking. Now, at 7 years old, my brother, who now is like 6'3", was pretty much so 6'3" at 7. No, not quite that tall, but way too big for our traditional strollers. And we just did not take into account the amount of walking there was. Stu is walking around the park. I am not taking another step. Every time he stepped, he just complain. Someone has to carry me like the entire day. And we made the mistake of doing Epcot as our first park. He was absolutely bored to tears because he wanted to ride rides and walking around this park, just complaining the entire time.
Can't imagine Stephanie carrying her 6'3" little brother around the park.
No, he was almost as big as me even then, and I was not carrying him anywhere.
Yeah.
But that is my one thing I always think of when I think of Epcot. I tell people that when they're playing with their kids, just get the stroller. Rent one of the big Disney strollers because those are actually large enough that pretty big kids can fit in those, even just for this park.
Epcot is one of these places that I think of as if you need an adult escape for a weekend or something. Epcot's great because what you can do is you can get and I've planned this exact vacation for people.
Mm-hmm.
You can get a room at the yacht or beach club or boardwalk or whatever, and you can get like a 3-day park hopper ticket or whatever, and you can go check out one of the other parks when you want. But then you can always hop back to Epcot and have dinner at one of these great restaurants like Via Napoli or Le Cellier or any of them.
Is a good one, yeah.
And so I love Epcot for like an adult getaway. It's perfect.
Absolutely. Especially if there's one of the, 4, 5, 6, how many festivals they do now. There's always a festival going on, which is great for an adult getaway.
Yep. Yeah.
So, guys, make sure you're tuned in next week. We're going to tackle Hollywood Studios. There's a lot going on at that park as well. Please go subscribe wherever you get your podcast and share it with somebody that you know is planning a Disney World vacation so they can catch all the great tips and tricks on these episodes.
Absolutely. And don't forget about our free Disney planning guide. If you go subscribe to our newsletter at extracheese.fun, we will send you our planning guide for free. Combine that with working with us and our knowledge, you've got a recipe for success for your next vacation.
Right. This guide is a worksheet to walk you through planning your perfect Disney vacation. All right, Ryan, all this talk about Via Napoli, please tell me what you're doing for dinner tonight.
Yeah, I'm going to go, and I guess I'll mail you some.
Sounds
a little
good.
Scratch and sniff email.
It's better than nothing, guys. It's better than nothing. All right, Pizza Pals, have a great week. And remember to keep traveling the world.
One slice at a time. Bye.
Bye, guys.